With the 15th pick and with the 26th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dwayne Haskins, Montez Sweat.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Luke. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. Preseason game number 3, the all-important dress rehearsal for the Washington Redskins on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Started the second half, and Case Keenum has a ball cap on. He's done for the night, means Dwayne Haskins is about to take the field with the, presumably with the second team offense. I'm guessing. We're going to see who accompanies him on the field. When they take the field after this kickoff to start the second half. I want to thank all of you guys for joining me in the second half of this game. First half, biggest takeaway, Darius Geis looks good. No injuries, knock on wood. Redskins came out of the first half relatively healthy. And so I'm almost at the point where I'm like, I want to see Haskins with the first team offense. Byron Marshall bobbles the opening kickoff and is able to get to the 18-yard line. I don't know what Jay sees in this dude, man. Jay loves Byron Marshall, and I don't know why. I haven't seen it from Byron Marshall. I really haven't. Haskins is coming in, though, and we're going to see who he's coming on the field with. Who is accompanying him on the field? And it is Donald Penn is still in at left tackle, which is a smart move. But everybody else are backups. I see Wes Martin in at left guard, Tony Bergstrom in at center. So, yeah, you're getting backups at this point in the game. So, Kelvin Harmon is in. It's a handoff to Samaje Perine. And that's the best. I think that's the best carry Perine's had all preseason. So, Geis got through his first game, and he's healthy. And we've seen all we need to see out of him for the preseason. Obviously, he won't play in the next preseason game. I'm pretty pleased and pumped about what we saw from him. Haskins is in. This will probably be his first passing attempt. Quick out to the flats to Perine. Caught by Perine, but going to be short of the first down. Haskins got that out of his hands very quickly, almost to the point where Perine didn't get his head around. It's actually a good catch by Perine there. And so that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. 3rd and very short. Let's see if Jay elects to run it or if he lets Haskins throw it on this 3rd and short and see if he can pick up this first down. So Haskins is in the gun with Byron Marshall next to him. Kidsey in the slot. Harmon and Sims are out wide, and he goes with the run to Byron Marshall, and he's going to be short. So Jay not electing to allow his young quarterback to throw it on 3rd and 2. You know I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not going to do what I did last week and argue about play calling in the preseason. I honestly don't give a shit this time of the year, but I would really prefer on that 3rd down and 2 that you just let Dwayne throw the football. I said it last week, so I'm not going to continue to rehash that and keep beating a dead horse. Obviously, they just want to get out of here relatively healthy. And so they didn't let him throw it on 3rd and 2. And you should be able to pick up 2 yards. Oh, muffed punt. Redskins are going to get the football. Redskins are going to recover this football after a mishandle by the Atlanta Falcons. And the Redskins are going to Troy Apke with the recovery. And the Redskins are going to start in business inside the Falcons' 20-yard line. So it's a great break by the Redskins. That's a terrible job of trying to field a punt by their rookie. I think that's Marcus Green. Is that Marcus Green? Yeah, that's Marcus Green ass. That's a terrible way to try to field a punt. You never turn your hands this way to catch a punt. Always like this. I don't know what the hell he thought this was, but he'll learn from that. That's one of those situations where, you know, that's a teaching tool for him. They'll turn on the film. And he'll never do that again. But that's poor technique there. Redskins are going to benefit from it. Now it's just a matter of where they're going to mark this football. So it looks like the Redskins are going to take over 1st and 10 from the Falcons' 16-yard line. I'd like to see Haskins go attack right now. I don't want to run play here. Let Haskins attack the end zone right now. Go for the jugular. Quick turn of events. Sudden change of possession. You got them on their heels. Attack right now. Let Dwayne Haskins come out in the gun. And I want to see you attack right now. All right, Haskins in the gun. So that's check number 1. All right, can I get check 2 and allow him to throw it and not be a gun run? Nope, I don't get check 2. I get a Samaje Perine gun run. It wasn't a bad run. It was a gain of 4, maybe 5, but still, I'd have liked to have seen him attack the end zone right there. Defense just got off the field, thought they were done. Get the turnover. Attack him right now. Go get him. So they call a face mask on the Falcons in addition to the 5-yard run. So that's going to give the Redskins an automatic first down. Rashid Hegman is the guilty party. So that's going to put the ball probably inside the Falcons' 10-yard line, closer to the 5, probably around the 6 or the 7. If I had to guess, half the distance to the goal will put you right around the 7 or the 6. And it's at the 6. So Redskins got a golden opportunity to get in the end zone, something they haven't been able to do tonight. Haskins with the handoff to Perine with another solid run by Perine inside the Falcons 5 to about the 3, maybe the 2, depending on where they spot it. More likely the 3. This is the best we've seen Perine look all preseason long right here. It's a nice little cutback here. And I can tell you this much. Jerron Christian at right tackle looks good too. I've been impressed with what I've seen from him in this limited action at right tackle. He's been used at left tackle. Remember, he played both left and right at Louisville. And so he's capable of playing both, and he's doing a good job at right tackle right now with Penn at left tackle. Another handoff to Perine. He might have gotten in for the touchdown. So Redskins run it, and Perine gets in the end zone. That was a nice, hard, tough run by Perine. I told you, Perine's a guy that if you get him blocking, Samaje Perine is a very capable runner. He's not going to make guys miss. He's not going to be flashy. He's not an elite back. But if you give him space and opportunity, he can show you why the Redskins decided to spend a 4th-round pick on him out of Oklahoma. You know, he's a tough runner. And if he gets space and gets to get going downhill, he becomes a tough guy to deal with. And the problem for him is a lot of times with this Redskins offensive line, not a lot of space to operate. You got to make people miss, and that's not his forte. He's not going to make a lot of people miss on his own. So Redskins get in after the turnover. Both teams have scored their touchdowns on the night off of turnovers that led to points. Redskins looking to tack on the extra point here with Dustin Hopkins, and Hopkins is true on the extra point. So the Redskins, after the muffed punt by the Falcons, run it twice with Samaje Perine with a face mask penalty sandwiched in between to get in the end zone and make it a 13-7 game as they take the lead versus the Atlanta Falcons. Let's get to some of your comments. John Perez says, can we please end the Eric Flowers experiment while we still can? And also end the Tony Bergstrom experiment too while you're at it. I can tell you right now, neither one of those guys are going anywhere. Bergstrom is a valuable member of the Redskins offensive line for depth purposes because he can play multiple positions. Tony Bergstrom is capable of playing all 5 offensive line positions. I wouldn't recommend putting him at either tackle spot, but in a pinch, if you have to, he has played tackle, actually got drafted in this league as a tackle by the Oakland Raiders. So I think that Tony Bergstrom's ability to play all 3 interior offensive line positions and in the most extreme cases, both tackle positions, makes him invaluable on this roster. He's not going anywhere as a backup center right now. And Eric Flowers, they're going to continue to try to make him work at guard. I think it's not going to be long before Wes Martin ends up getting the nod. You know, there's only so many holding penalties and missed assignments that can take place before they say, all right, enough's enough. But if Wes Martin were killing it, we wouldn't be having this discussion. He'd be already starting. So obviously they feel like Wes Martin's got a little bit more ways to go. And so Flowers is going to start the season off at left guard. Just wrap your brain around that for now. But again, if struggles continue, it won't be long before Wes Martin is your starting left guard. We'll see how long it takes for them to pull the trigger on that. But like I said, Flowers wasn't terrible tonight. He did have the one penalty. It was a costly one. And if this were the regular season, we probably would be snapping on his ass. But it's the preseason, and you hope that those things don't happen when the regular season takes place. But I'm just telling you right now, that's going to be an issue with Eric Flowers moving forward. That's not something that's correctable. His feet are slow, all right? He's not athletic with his feet. Period. That's just the end of the discussion. So those things are going to happen where a guy gets a jump on the snap and beats him across his face like that defender Crawford did. And it's going to force him to hold. So that ain't the first, nor will it be the last holding penalty on Eric Flowers. SOL's Nation says, very upset we couldn't score from the half-yard line. That's unacceptable if we want to make any kind of noise this season. Same old Redskins shit. I can already see it. I've already said numerous times, I don't think our line is a power offensive line, especially when you take Trent Williams out of the mix. We're not going to be moving a lot of people out of the way. That's not what we do. I fully expect us to have issues in those short yardage situations. And with a guy like Eric Flowers on the field too, you could get early penetration and get beat. So, we'll see. So, a lot of the backups are in now, as you would expect, for both teams. Good showing by the Redskins starting defense, only surrendering the one touchdown on the after the turnover. Ryan Fieria says, "Thank you, Louie from Louie T from Aloha from Hawaii, man. Hey, what time is it over there anyway? Hey, what's up? That's what's up, man. Glad that you could join us, man. And I know there's a significant time difference over there." Ryan Anderson with the tackle. Storm says, or Farrah Cody says, Jay loves all the bums. Yeah, I mean, I won't say he loves all the bums, but he loves quite a few of them. And I don't want to call them bums, but dudes that I'm not overly thrilled about, like a Byron Marshall. I'm like, I'm good on Byron Marshall. Thanks. You know, he keeps trying to push Byron Marshall off on us, and I'm good. I really am. But that experiment's about to come to an end because Bryce Love is about to come and join his Redskins squad this year. At some point, I'd like to think that he'll be able to help us the latter portion of the season if you think it's worth it. You know, if the Redskins are, 5-11, 5-9 at one point, you probably don't need to bring Bryce Love back for the final 2 games of the season. So we'll see what happens with him. But Bryce Love will bring to an end that whole, experiment with him. The 20th Mike says, nice to see Dice getting through his first game. Yeah, man. It's good to see Darius Geis. And he called him Dice. That's a nice little nickname. The mashing together of his first and last name. Good to see Darius Geis get out there and get some touches, get hit, and mentally, overcome that hurdle of not being able to finish an NFL game. So, feel good, man. Boba Sis says, okay, so Wes Martin was really good in this series. Why not start him in week 1? Also, I'm impressed with P. Ryan. Now I want to see some Haskins bombs. Some Haskins bombs, he says. Well, obviously, Wes Martin was in versus backups. And not to and well, I take that back because that last possession in which like I said, they were actually really good all the way until they got to the 1 yard line. That's when shit fell apart that drive. Other than that, they were dominant that possession. So I don't think Wes Martin's gonna start. I'm just telling you right now, go ahead and wrap your brain around Eric Flowers being your week 1 starter at guard, left guard. Now, how long is that going to last for? I don't know. But I expect him to be the week 1 starter at left guard. Excuse me. So, appreciate the super chat, Brian. Really do, man. Thank you so much. I think they're going to let Haskins throw it the next possession. I would like to think. But, again, we've seen in this preseason, Jay at times just wants to get out of there. And the fact that we know Case is starting now and the competition is officially over, Jay might want to just get out of here healthy. So I want to see Haskins rip it too. You know how I feel about that. Redskins with some pressure. Casanova McKenzie, JoJo Wicker in to combine for a sack. So let's see. So they call it holding on the Redskins. So that's going to negate the sack. The 20th Mike says, Jay Gruden playing it safe, not letting Haskins throw the ball in the end zone. Well, we scored a touchdown, so I can't really be upset at that. But like I said, after the sudden change of possession, I would have let Haskins throw it. He came out in gun. I was excited about that, and I wanted him to let him rip it. Instead, it was a handoff to P. Ryan, a gun run. But, you know, again, P. Ryan got like 5 on the play. They also had a face mask. And so that actually wasn't a bad play by B.J. Blunt. So I was impressed with P. Ryan on that last possession. And even the first possession he was out there where he caught the football out of the backfield, got his head around. That wasn't bad. Like I said, you give P. Ryan a little bit of space. He's not trash. I know a lot of you, I just told you, if you don't block it up for him, Casanova McKenzie around the edge, fumble. Hey, look, man, Casanova McKenzie, that's another dude that's been impressive. And if you want to be honest, of all the pass rushers this preseason, he's probably been the most consistent. I know that's not saying much because you haven't seen Kerrigan and you haven't seen a lot of Sweat. But by far and away, to me, Casanova McKenzie has been the most consistent pass rusher we've had all preseason long. He's definitely making a roster. So that's not something that I'm really that concerned about. He's making the football team. I think he's playing for more reps. So let's see. Cody Smith says, what up, broski? What up, Cody? What's good, man? Chuck Sharp says, you think Wentz not getting any game speed heading into week 1 can help our chances of winning? I can tell you this much. I think him not playing in the preseason will definitely benefit us from a standpoint of rust. But if we don't get any pressure on him, I can tell you this much. Carson Wentz doesn't need preseason action to be able to stand tall in the pocket and deliver a football. We have to apply. If we apply pressure on him, the rust of not playing in the preseason could affect him, yes. And there's no guarantee he's going to be ready for week 1. I think he's going to be, but there's no guarantee he's going to be ready for week 1. So I'm anxious to see if this long layoff of him not playing since last season could hurt him in week 1, and we could be the beneficiaries of that, you know, benefactors, I should say, of that. So I think that that's something that it can't hurt us. That's for sure. He's not going to come out all healthy and spry and light us up. If he comes out and plays really well, it'll be because we didn't get pressure on him. But if we can stop their run game, you know, don't allow them to take pressure off of him with the run game and ease his way back in there. Make him have to be the difference maker. Make him have to go out and beat us with his arm. And if he's able to do that, then you tip your cap to him and say, hey, man, welcome back to the division and good shit. But don't give them anything. And, you know, we got to get pressure on them. The 20th Mike says, what's up with these overkicked punts? What's up with these camera angles? That's what I want to know. Camera angles are trash. Peyton the Great says, what do you think the record will be of the team? I've already given out my record, 7-9. Make sure you're using the hashtag LouieTLive if you want your comment to be read on the air. OJ Turner says, hey, Lou, loving the chat, bro. Who have you been most impressed with tonight? Obviously, Darius Geis sticks out like a sore thumb. He was ultra impressive tonight. I also have liked the receivers. Cam Sims with a nice catch and run. Josh Doxson had a solid catch over the middle of the football field. McLaurin drew a pass interference penalty on an underthrown football. So they did some good things at the receiver position. For the most part, the offensive line wasn't bad tonight. You had the holding penalty, obviously, by Eric Flowers, which everyone wants to harp on. But, he was pretty solid before that holding penalty. And you had a sheriff get beat on the sack. That's something that can't happen. But then you had another situation where a guy came scot-free up the middle, up the yay gap. Nobody touched him. And there was a conversation with Sheriff and Case Keenum after the play. So there's still some things to be ironed out between Case Keenum and the offensive line. And that's what happens when you don't get a lot of reps in the preseason, which is why it's so important to get these guys on the field with one another, which is maybe something we might be able to take advantage of. With Philadelphia, without Wentz being on the field, there could be some issues in communication up front. And he's not a rookie, nor has he. Is this his first year in Doug Peterson's offense? So you'd like to think that he should be able to step in and have no issues. And right out of the gate, we talk about issues and penalties. Redskins start out this possession with a false start penalty and going to back them up 5 yards. And you hate working from behind the chains like this, especially with Haskins in there. You want to be able to run the play action fake. You want to be able to stay ahead of the down and distance. You don't want obvious passing situations. So I hate the fact that we come out and right away pick up a false start penalty. Let's see. I think Jerron Christian has shifted over from the right side of the offensive line to the left, and Donald Penn is now out. So Timon Paris is now in at right tackle. So a run to Byron Marshall. He's able to try to get to the outside. No, he's not. He's swallowed up in the backfield. Probably going to lose a yard there. So I think Jay has pretty much told us he's looking to get the hell out of Dodge. You're not going to see Haskins throw it, 17 times like we did the first 2 preseason games, essentially. I think he had 17 against the Browns and 14 last week. I don't think you're going to see that this week. I would be upset if we don't see a throw here on 2nd and 16, though. I would be upset then. We're in the gun now. Haskins drops back. Dumps it down to the tight end, J.P. Holtz, who is able to pick up about a gain of 12. So that's a nice throw. Again, quick decision by Haskins. That back foot hits the ground, makes a quick decision, ball out of his hands. And because he was so quick with the football, it allows J.P. Holtz to turn up the field and get additional yardage. Got to be quick and decisive. He gave J.P. Holtz an opportunity to turn up the field and get additional yardage with a quick, accurate throw, which pushed the Redskins back in a very manageable 3rd and 4 situation from a 2nd and 16. So 12-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 4. Haskins on the field with a McLaurin on the field, it looks like. Cam Sims and Steven Sims are your receivers. Oh, excuse me. That wasn't McLaurin. That was Harmon. And he throws a dart to Flanagan, who drops the football. That was a good job by Haskins of getting rid of the football quickly. Really good throw as he's backing away from the blitz. And Flanagan just flat out dropped it. And it's going to kill this drive, man. 2nd drive tonight ended by a tight end dropping the football on 3rd down. That would have been a 1st down. So can't really be mad at Haskins there. Made a good decision, made a good throw, and it was just dropped. Another muff punt by the Falcons. And the Redskins are going to get the football again. Oh, man. The Falcons special teams has been god-awful tonight. Robert Davis, who I think is going to make this football team's special teams with the recovery of this muffed punt by the Falcons. And that's just awful by the Falcons, man. 2 in a row. That's ridiculous. So Haskins and the offense are going to come back out on the field again. That's a hell of a kick by Tress Way, right by the sidelines. A muff punt by the Falcons again, recovered by Robert Davis, and Redskins are in business again with 4:12 left in the third quarter at the Falcons' 18-yard line. Like I said last time, I'd love to see him let Haskins come out and spin it on this first down. Sudden change of possession. They're on their heels. They thought they had gotten off the field yet again. Here they are back on the field. Attack them right now. How about a jump ball to Kelvin Harmon or Cam Sims? One-on-one. If they get one-on-one, how about you just throw a fade ball up to one of these dudes? You know, big weapons out there. Harmon on one side, Sims on the other side. Sims is split out by himself down at the bottom of the screen. And now they're sending Harmon in motion to that side. This is a run. Haskins hands it off to Byron Marshall. He tripped. Somebody stepped on his foot as he was going to hand it off. That could have been dangerous. That could have been a fumble. But instead, it's a gain of 5. He got stepped on. Either that or he tripped over his own feet. So 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard run by Byron Marshall. And Haskins under center again. And with this personnel on the field, it looks like another run, if I had to be honest. Harmon in motion again. It looked like the same run, and it is. Same exact run. Marshall with a tough run. That's a really good run by Byron Marshall in between the tackles. Gets about 6 and a first down. So like I said, Jay is resigned to the fact that he just wants to get out of here, man. Not going to see a lot of Dwayne airing it out tonight. Like I said, the competition is over. Not that I ever thought there was really a competition that Haskins could ever start. But, you know, I don't think you're going to see Haskins airing it out a lot tonight. I think they're throwing it on this first down, though. Sims, Harmon, and Sims. Quick throw to Marshall out of the backfield. Very accurate throw by Haskins. You saw this a lot from him at Ohio State, where kind of throws the football flat-footed. That's an excellent throw. And that was just a good play by the defender to get to Marshall before he could turn up the field. But it's a good throw by Haskins. Hasn't really thrown it a lot tonight, but when he has thrown it, he's been really accurate. The one incompletion, not his fault, a drop by Flanagan. So 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line after the completion to Marshall out of the backfield. It's probably, I thought it was going to be a run. I was wrong. Haskins with plenty of time. Now he's using his legs to extend. Now he's going to throw it out of the back of the end zone. So 3rd and goal from the 5. Really good time there by the offensive line provided for Haskins. Just nobody open. You know the field condenses and shrinks down here by the goal line. Jerron Christian and company with some great protection. Haskins does a great job of manipulating the pocket, stepping up when the pocket does start to crumble. Gets out, extends the play, creates more time, but again, nobody able to come open. And Ross Pierce Baker is at center. He's doing a really good job too. Maybe my man JP, who said he wanted to see the end of the Bergstrom experiment, maybe you might be getting your wish. Oh! I talked about how accurate Haskins has been all night. Well, he missed Steven Sims on a touchdown, on an out-breaking route. He was open too. That's got to be a touchdown. Got a quick out. Got to have it. And he threw it just out the outstretched arms of Steven Sims. That's an easy pitch and catch touchdown. And so the Redskins, for the 3rd time tonight, have to settle for a field goal. So that was a missed opportunity, but Dustin Hopkins coming on for a 23-yard chip shot field goal to make it 16-7, and he does. So Redskins waste an opportunity to get another 7 on the board after another muff punt by the Falcons, but Haskins, a little errant on the throw there. Had an opportunity for a touchdown. Anyway, let's get back to your comments. So OJ Turner asked me who I had been most impressed with tonight. Darius Geis, by far and away, the most impressive. Impressed with the Redskins defense. Daron Payne looks so good this year. He's in shape, and man, is he playing with a ton of confidence. He's also been super impressive, not just tonight, but just throughout the entire preseason when he's played. Landon Collins made an exceptional play. It was a ball thrown slightly behind the receiver. Doesn't matter. A great play by Landon Collins to undercut a ball over the middle of the field to, Calvin Ridley. So, and he made another tackle in the backfield for a loss to Landon Collins. So he was all over the football field. He was impressive tonight as well. So those are some of the guys among the few that I've been really impressed with tonight. Connor Lineberger says, what can Haskins do tonight to win the job? Nothing. It was already predetermined before the game even started. I think Jay knew this all along. They had no plans to start Dwayne Haskins, nor should they have, to be honest with you. There was nothing he could have done tonight to win the job. Case could have came out and thrown 3 interceptions, and he wasn't going to lose the job. And he did throw an interception. Case got hit, ball came out, picked off by Tack McKinley. So there was no way he was going to win the job tonight. No way whatsoever. Ricky L says, I see I'm late. Damn work. What up, bro? What's good, Rick? Ouija HTTR says, their punt coverage, though. I know, man. What the hell? They got some work to do there, for sure. OJ Turner says, who do you think will be the starting wideout for us this year? So the way I envision it, you're going to have Trey Quinn in the slot. You're going to have Paul Richardson at the X. And you're going to probably have Josh Doctson at the Z. Or I probably should flip that around. Paul Richardson is probably your Z. Josh Doctson is probably your X. And you're going to have Trey Quinn in the slot. That's what the starting lineup probably looks like week 1, if I had to guess. Let's just go with the premise that Josh Doctson makes the roster. That's how it would look. If he doesn't, let's say something crazy happens, like Doctson gets cut, then I think that position then goes to maybe Terry McLaurin, But I haven't seen enough from McLaurin this preseason to feel like they're going to do something rash, like cut Doctson. Somebody would have had to have stepped up in a major way for Doctson to get cut. And we just haven't seen that. Robert Davis, I think, has staked his claim to be one of the 6 receivers on the roster. Does that come at the expense of a Kelvin Harmon? Maybe. Maybe Kelvin Harmon is a guy you can sneak onto the practice squad. Boba Sis says, just goes to show you that Jay's going with Keenum week 1. Absolutely. We'll hear it after this game. There's no reason Jay shouldn't just go ahead and tell everybody so they can stop asking about the quarterback situation that Case Keenum's his starter for week 1. He already knew that coming into the game. We already knew that. You just need to go ahead and announce it so it can put it to bed. And everyone can move on, turn the page, and start the Case Keenum chapter 1, week 1 versus the Eagles. Jay's trying to win this year. I already talked about the fact that he needs to win. There's no secret. If Jay doesn't win this year, most likely it's his final year in D.C. So he's going to give himself every opportunity to win with Case Keenum because Keenum has proven that he can win in this league with a good defense and a good run game and a solid supporting cast. We don't know what these receivers are, but the run game can definitely be dominant if the offensive line stays healthy. With the backs that we have now that we don't have to run 80 into the ground, we got guys now. We can run the football. We can run the football, I think. And if we can run it effectively, that's going to really open up play action fake for guys like Jordan Reed and Paul Richardson down the field with his speed, along with McLaurin and his speed. It's going to open up the field for those guys. Cody Smith says, man, I really like how when Haskins steps up in the pocket, he constantly has 2 hands on the ball to protect it. I've been really impressed with his pocket poise and his decision-making in the pocket. That was something that I wasn't too sure of at Ohio State, and I've been proven wrong thoroughly early on in his NFL career in this preseason, man. He's been more athletic than I thought he was going to be. He's manipulated the pocket much better than I thought he would. He's done some really good things, man. Optimus Evil says, Daniel Jones looks way better than Haskins. I'm sad. Don't be. I mean, preseason means absolutely nothing. Don't be sad. I've seen plenty of guys come in, light it up in the preseason, and that doesn't mean one damn thing. Not a damn thing. I've seen guys come in and stink it up, and then they figure it out. Sometimes it takes a while. But I'm excited about Dwayne Haskins. I really am. Ricky L says, Gruden is going with Rex Grossman. Rex is our QB. Very funny. But anyway, nonetheless, looking forward to the season. The only thing that's going to suck once the season starts is that there is no more development for Dwayne Haskins. He's on the bench at that point. And when you're on the bench, you're not getting snaps. You're not getting reps. You're not getting better. So that's the only thing that's going to suck, is that him not playing, not necessarily going to stunt his growth as far as picking up the playbook and the terminology and being more comfortable being able to call plays in the huddle and being acclimated to what defenses are trying to do. And this is a thing that I also really am excited that he's going to get a chance to do and not have to rush, is he's going to see how you prepare on a weekly basis for an upcoming opponent. He hasn't had to do that yet. There hasn't been an install week. There hasn't been a game plan put in place to try to beat Philadelphia or Dallas or Buffalo or Minnesota. He hasn't had to do that yet. He doesn't know what that's like. So he's going to get a chance to see that early in the season. That's going to make him a much sharper quarterback mentally, but the physical side of the game, the physical aspect, the timing with the receivers, the being accurate, that sort of thing, he's not going to get that until he gets back on the field. And that's the frustrating part about having a young quarterback that's not playing. But again, I expect him to get an opportunity to play sooner rather than later. You know how I feel about this team this year. I don't think we're going to be that great. And because of that, I think this thing could get away from us early on in the season. And if it does, and if they feel like the quarterback is in largely part to blame for this season potentially getting out of hand early, like 1-4, or 1-5 start, Dwayne Haskins is a guy that they probably could call on very early in the season and give him an opportunity to take over this team and not look back. Like he said, when he gets his opportunity, he wants to get in there and not look back. And that's what all Redskins fans are hoping for. We don't want this yo-yoing garbage where you put him in, he struggles, and you got to go to Case Keenum. No, that's not what you want. You know what I mean? You let Case go out. If he struggles, you yank him, and then you just go full speed ahead with Dwayne, and we don't look back. David, the real Thomas, says, Daniel Jones is showing he's the top pick of the draft. Great ball placement and accuracy. Ryan Finley has also really been good. It's preseason, man. I definitely am not going to get excited nor bent out of shape about things I see in the preseason. You want your guys to look good, though. I talked about it on my podcast, how good Daniel Jones has looked and how good some of these second-year quarterbacks, Sam Darnold and Josh Allen, have looked. That's what you want. You want these guys to look good in the preseason, but at the end of the day, year one is all about learning for me. Learning and making your mistakes and getting better, and then you want to see the jump. And that's why Haskins has to play this year. And he will play. I think he's going to play at minimum 8 games. I think he's going to play closer to 10, 11 games when it's all said and done. But he's going to play 8 or 9 games this year, and he needs to, because that's going to make him a much better quarterback. So, see. Damn Twin Shorty Sublime says, power rankings mean nothing, but we're currently 28th. If our run game is legit and allows us to move the ball through the air, what is our potential this year? Look, last year, it's funny. I went back and looked at the Redskins roster last year. And last year, I thought we had a chance to be 10-6. I think my prediction for the season was Redskins go 10-6 because we're going to have Alex Smith at quarterback. And Alex Smith is a caretaker of the football. He's not going to lose you ball games. Probably won't going to win you many ball games, but he wasn't going to lose you games. And we knew that. And so I figured with a strong defense, which we had early in the season, and a run game, which we had with Adrian Peterson, I figured we could win 10 games last year. And what did we do? We came out, we had excellent special teams, tremendous defense, stopped the run, got after team's quarterback, ran the football effectively, didn't turn it over, and we were eking out victories. It wasn't pretty. A lot of Redskins fans were bitching and moaning and complaining, but we were winning football games, and we started off the season 6-3. But eventually, you knew it was going to catch up with us because we couldn't score enough. And when we were playing against high-octane offenses like New Orleans and Atlanta and even Tampa that racked up over 500 yards of offense but couldn't get out of their own way, missing field goals and turning over the ball, we couldn't stop high-octane offenses. And so that's the thing I'm looking for this year is, yeah, we're going to be able to – I think we're going to be able to stack up with Dallas because they're not a high-octane offense. They've shown the ability to be able to score, but I'm not afraid of Dallas, and neither are you. The Eagles, these are all teams in the division we match up with. But what happens when you're playing against a team that can play defense just like we can, and a Chicago Bears defense that's going to be just as lights out as we are, if not more so, probably way more so because they've got more studs on defense than we do, and they can still move the football offensively. Then what happens? That's when you got to ask yourself, do we have enough on offense to get it done? What about the times when we're playing against explosive offenses that can score a ton of points? Do you think we're capable of going to Lambeau and stopping Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense from putting up 35? I mean, are we capable of going to Minnesota and stopping Kirk from putting, 29 on our heads and not being able to keep pace with that explosive Vikings offense? I mean, these are questions you have to ask yourself throughout the course of the year. We've got a very doable schedule. When New England comes to town, can we stop Tom Brady from surgically dissecting us and putting up 34 points? I don't know. Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. But if we can run the football, if we can play some solid defense, get off the field on third downs, create turnovers and short fields for our offense, stay in third and manageable, and eliminate penalties and mistakes, we got a shot. But I'm not overly enthused by the offensive line. Every single week, we've had protection breakdowns. We had one tonight that cost us a turnover. We had another one that cost us a touchdown on a holding penalty. We've got a lot of things to clean up. So, to answer your question, if everything goes right for the Redskins, the most games I can see them winning is 9. Man, Craig Reynolds looks good. It's crazy. I don't think he has a shot at making a roster, but seeing him run, I'm like, you sure he can't be better than Samaje Perine? At times, I find myself asking that, but there's no way he's making a roster. But I can tell you this much: he's definitely playing his way into a practice squad role. That's for sure. So they called the Redskins for a legal shift. 2 guys moving at the snap, not coming and getting set, and so that's going to negate what was a really good 12-yard run by Craig Robertson and set the Redskins up 1st and 15 from their own 6-yard line. Haskins in the gun, drops back, throws a outside fade ball to Kelvin Harmon, who comes down with it for a gain of 22. That's a great throw by Haskins. Great adjustment to the football by Harmon. And just like that, the Redskins are in business at the Falcons' 27-yard line. So a gain of 21 from Haskins to Harmon. That's a good throw, man. That's the way I wanted to throw from Case Keenum in the end zone to McLaurin that went for PI, that got us down to the 1. That's how that football should have been thrown. Outside, back shoulder, that would have been a touchdown. Good throw by Haskins. I think we're going to go back to the ground now after that completion Haskins getting us out of harm's way deep in our own territory. We're going to see a run here. Play action fake. Haskins with a lot of time. Over the middle. Wide open. Who is that? Is that Kelvin Harmon again? It is. Harmon getting busy. Kelvin Harmon getting busy. Wide open over the middle. Great throw by Haskins. Set his feet. Great protection by the offensive line. Gave Haskins clear time to throw, and he had a nice delivery there to Kelvin Harmon. 2 plays in a row. So Redskins moving the football, and it's on the right arm of Dwayne Haskins. So that was a gain of 16 now, 17 to Harmon. So now they're in the I formation. It's a handoff to Craig Robinson. He gets a solid gain of 4 out to the Falcons' 47-yard line. So Redskins on the move this drive on the strength of 2 really good throws by Dwayne Haskins to Kelvin Harmon. Nice route by Harmon to run about a good 12-yard stop over the middle of the field. All right, under center again is Haskins. Looks like another run. And it's a fake. Step up. Haskins got lambasted on that play. Had Cam Sims, but that was going to be a tough throw even if he didn't get hit. But he got hit that play. Wasn't able to step into the throw adequately, and so that ball sailed on him. I'd like to see the replay, but again, with this telecast, I mean, you got to beg for a damn replay. So highly unlikely that we get it, but he was under duress pretty quickly on that drop. Never really had a chance to step into the throw. So now it's 3rd and 6. He's going to get a chance to convert on 3rd down here. Let's see what he does. He's in the gun. Craig Robinson next to him. Falcons come with pressure. Haskins backpedaling. I don't think that one's going to be completed. He was backpedaling. He's pointing like there's a flag on the play, and there is. Look like we're going to get a defensive holding here. And we are, so that's going to give the Redskins a fresh set of downs, so we get to see Haskins stay on the field, so that's a good thing. He was backpedaling on that one. I would have liked to have seen where that football was going to go. Because he was trying to run away from blitz there. Oh, yeah. That was a little tug. It wasn't egregious, but it was enough to get him back into the play, the defender on the play. He was looking to go to Harmon again on the crosser. I don't think that would have been for a first down, but you never know. That tug of the jersey got the defender back into play, so they called holding. So those 5 yards net the Redskins a first down. Gun run for Craig Robinson, who gets a gain of 3 to the Falcons' 45-yard line. Let's take some comments while we wait for the next play. Mr. DCB 215 says, I hope we can sneak safety Jeremy Reeves onto the practice squad. He's all over the field. He stuck out to me a couple of times this preseason, man. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to sneak him onto the practice squad, honestly. He hasn't made enough plays for someone to snatch him off of waivers, but you never know. Told you, somebody's always looking at your stuff. Cam Sims with a one-handed grab. It's a beautiful catch. Haskins was a little bit errant to the outside. Sims with a one-hand snag to then turn up the field and gain about 6 yards. It's a nice one-hand snag. That's going to set up 3rd and 1. It's a hell of a catch by Cam Sims.
I'd like to say I'm surprised at watching the receivers do what they're doing, but I've watched these guys do this through OTAs, mini camps, training camp. They made these kind of plays.
So now it's 3rd and 3 after the one-hand grab by Cam Sims. Those are slant to Sims, who gets upended, but it's a first down. Beautiful throw by Haskins. Even better catch by Sims. Really like what I'm seeing from Cam Sims tonight, too. He's been a ghost all preseason. We've heard so much about Cam Sims. Oh, my God. We got a guy laid out. He's not moving either. Okay. Arms. All right, yeah. Man, that's scary. Anytime you see a guy laid out like that, that shit is scary, man. He ain't moved his legs yet. His arms were just spread eagle. And that was a nasty hit. He probably caught Cam Sims knee to the head when he went low, and I'm assuming he's knocked out. Probably was out on contact. And the most dangerous part of a player's body part, other than the helmet-to-helmet contact, is a knee. You take a knee flush to the helmet of a guy that's moving at high speed like Cam Sims was, it'll knock you out if it hits you in the right spot. So I hope he's all right, man. Yikes. 7PRS says Reed in concussion protocol. He should be. That was a vicious hit. He's not playing next week. And I would assume that even if, I would hope, first of all, let's hope he doesn't have a concussion. That's number one. Number two, even if he had one, he's going to have a full 2 weeks to recover because this game is being played on a Thursday. You won't play next Thursday. You won't play the following Thursday. You won't play again until Sunday. So you're talking a full 2.5 weeks from now to recover, which would lead me to believe that he would be ready. But, you know, concussions are a really scary thing. And Jordan Reed has had concussion issues in the past. So I'm just saying that when he first had the hit in the game, you know, he got up, he spun the ball, he looked like he was fine. I was like, yo, get him out of there. Get him under the tent and check him out. And he was in, you know, the 2 plays later. He was in. So hopefully he's okay, man, because as we all know, he's a huge part of this offense. Ben O'Flaherty says, Haskins improving every week. He's looking good. Yeah, I told you, that's what we've been seeing, steady improvement from Haskins every single week. That's what I expect, you know. Don't allow other people's judgment to cloud yours. It's good to see Calhoun up, man. Even though he looks like he had to get up with the help of a couple of the training staff members. It's just good to see him on his feet, man, because that looks scary. I bet you took a knee. Yeah, knee. I told you it had to be a knee to the head, man, because of the way Cam Sims got flipped over. You hit a knee. You get a knee to the head, man, it'll take you out quick. Quick. Fast and in a hurry. That was a hell of a BB from Haskins to Sims. Sims has had some impressive catches tonight. He's been really impressive. Haskins in the gun by himself. Woo! Harmon tried to make a one-handed grab. Haskins got hit backside. They blitzed him off the backside. He had no idea that rusher was coming. He barely got the football off as he was getting hit. So we didn't totally come out of the game unscathed as Jay Reed comes out of the game in concussion protocol. Let's hope that he's okay. Handoff to Craig Reynolds. And that looks like a gain of 3. Probably going to set up 3rd and 7 for Haskins. So we're going to get to see Haskins throwing on a 3rd down. When he's had protection tonight, Haskins has been extremely sharp. And hell, even when he hasn't had protection, he's been sharp on some throws. So he's looked good tonight. I think he's got 3 or 4 incompletions, and 2 of them, one is a drop, one is a batted ball. And matter of fact, the batted ball got wiped out by a penalty. So I think he's got 3 incompletions, and one of them is a dropped ball. So he's been sharp tonight. He still missed that touchdown pass, though. 3rd and 7. That's too far. Almost hits Robert Davis in the corner of the end zone. Actually wasn't that bad of a ball. Thought he threw it too far when he first released it, but looked like that hit Davis in both of his hands. I think Davis was more concerned with getting his feet down. Yeah, it could have had a little bit more air on it. But that's not a bad throw, man. Outside shoulder, give your receiver a chance. Not a bad ball at all. Could have been caught, but could have had a little bit more air under it too. You know, a little bit more of an accurate throw there, and maybe that's a touchdown. But that was an impressive drive by Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins offense. And 40-yard field goal for D-Hop is good, and he's 4 for 4 tonight. So D-Hop helping the Redskins potentially wrap up their first win of the preseason. He's been outstanding tonight. Good bounce back game for him. A lot of people were talking trash about him after last week, and he's went 4 for 4 tonight. So that's good. Let's see. Back to the comment section we go. Ricky L says, who does Patrick Chung think he is? Rick James. So, and you know I'm going to give you my 5 biggest takeaways from the game tomorrow, so I don't want to get too much into that, but you can be sure that I will talk about Cam Sims, Deron Payne, and Darius Geis. You know, those are guys that stood out for me tonight. And obviously, you know, Dwayne Haskins, you know, looks good. He looks good, but missed some throws. You know, that I still go back to that speed out to Steven Sims in the end zone. I need that one. That's pitch and catch. You know, the last touchdown pass just now that he missed to Robert Davis, that's not an easy throw by any stretch of the imagination. The elite quarterbacks make it all the time, drop it in the bucket. He'll get there. I'm not worried about that. That pass wasn't that far off. The speed out, though, to Steven Sims, I need that. That he should be able to throw that in his sleep. Back foot hits the ground. Steven Sims comes out of his break. Ball should be right there on him, touchdown. That defender was too far off. That should have been easy pitch and catch. That's the one that when he looks back, he's probably going to say, I want that one back. I got to hit that one. So outside of that, I think he's had a really good night, to be honest with you.
Redskins lead 19-7. Some more tweets, Joe. Depth at the running back position. We've seen that tonight for Haskins. Continue to improve. Get into a nice rhythm there. The D-line is just awesome. Brian B. Ground and pound. I don't think it's going to be ground and pound. I think we have enough weapons outside to scare people. And, of course, look, Jordan Reed gets through this protocol okay. And is ready for the opener in a couple weeks.
All right.
Performance from Darius Geis in the first half, 11 carries, 44 yards in his return. Marcus Green.
So I don't know if you're still out there, Bo, but your Nationals starting to pull away from the Pirates tonight. I was hoping that y'all would lose, but I knew in Mac's first start back, y'all were going to get it done. We were over there struggling with the Marlins. You know, hard to sweep teams, even if they're terrible. But looks like we're going to take care of business and get the sweep there to keep that lead at 6 games. You hear that? 6 games, bruh. Catch up, you're losing. But as Bo put it last half, back to football. So Redskins are back on the field defensively. I'd like to see them get off the field relatively quick and let Dwayne get back on the field. Fumble! They're going to call it a fumble and a touchback? Oh, Lampkin is a clown if he let that dude strip him of the ball. I thought he got in the end zone before he got stripped. They're going to have to look at this. This first of all, the first fumble was late. So that you got to check that first. Then you got to check the second fumble. So that first fumble happened. And I thought he got past the goal line. You got to show it from the side view. Oh, yeah, he fumbled. He's a clown. And he looked back and still ain't see the dude. Yeah, he fumbled. That's going to be a touchback for the Falcons, and they're going to get the ball at the 20-yard line. Yeah, he's got the ball out there like he got it like that. He didn't know where that receiver was at, though. But that's definitely a fumble. That's a good-ass play by Zacharias to strip him before he got in the end zone. Because that's damn sure a touchback. And some other news around the NFL while we got a second. Cam Newton apparently hurt his foot tonight after a sack in the Panthers game versus the New England Patriots. That's exactly what we didn't need tonight. And I'm glad we were able to avoid any kind of catastrophic injuries. Again, Jordan Reed in concussion protocol is probably the biggest hit we've taken tonight to any of our starters. But if you're telling me that's the worst that happened to us tonight, I'd say that that's a win. Still going to knock on some wood for Jay Reed, my man Jay Reed. Definitely need him. Big part of the offense. He's a difference maker, a true difference maker. So I'm glad we were able to come out of this game relatively healthy. Yes, Paul Richardson did play tonight. If you want your comment read on the air, use the hashtag LouieTLive to have your comment read on the air. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Remember, Redskins Nightly News coming to a screen near you starting day after Labor Day. I don't know the exact date, but Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, Redskins Nightly News. Every day, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. So if you're a Redskin fan like myself, you don't want to miss it. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and buckle up, saddle in for what's going to be an intriguing season for the Redskins. Good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to see Dwayne Haskins. And in past years when we were bad, there was no reason to watch. Even if we're not good this year, you got a reason to watch. You got the development of the young boys, whether it's Haskins or McLaurin or Harmon or Geis. We got a reason to watch. Or the defense. We got young boys everywhere. So even if this thing starts to get away from us at some point this year, there's a reason to watch Redskins football in 2019. Abraham Medina says, how's your day been? My day's been fine, man. My day's actually been really good. Today, Thursday is my Friday, so I don't have to work tomorrow. So I'm good, man. I'm excited about this Redskins game tonight. And so they ruled on the field that it is, in fact, a fumble on the Redskins. And then Casanova McKenzie, man, this dude, there goes that man again with a sack. Did they just try to block him with a tight end? Was that a tight end I saw? Nah, that was a tackle. He just smoked they tackle off the edge, man. The dude is legit, man. Casanova McKenzie is going to be a problem. That's what you do to a backup tackle. You abuse him. You use him, and then you lose him. And that's what he did on that play. Smoked his ass off the line. And honestly speaking, I'm done with Casanova McKenzie tonight. Jay need to get his ass out of there, to be honest. He'll play next week, too. It's not like he's one of those dudes that won't play in the game next week. But I don't need to see any more of him tonight. Raul Reddy says, do you think Haskins played better than Case today? It's a good question. So, what you have to always do when you're talking about backup players is you have to always grade on a curve. Case played a lot of his snaps against starters. Dwayne hasn't played against a single starter tonight. So, you have to take that into consideration. But all things aside, I thought Case didn't play too bad. Case wasn't horrible tonight. Case wasn't great, but Dwayne hasn't been great. I'd say it's a wash, but both of them missed opportunities tonight. Dwayne missed a couple of throws. You know, the one in the end zone is the one I keep harking back to. And for Case, you know, that fumble, well, interception, I just on that ball, on that particular play, you just got to be more mindful of the trash around you. Your guard got beat there. You knew he got beat. He got beat right in front of your face. Put the ball away, you know. But I thought both quarterbacks were really solid, man. I don't have a complaint with either one. Hawaiian Redskins fan 1982 says, mahalo for the play-by-play. Hey, man, appreciate that. Really do. Anything I can do to help fellow brothers in arms, man. My fellow burgundy and gold brothers in arms. Anything I can do to help brothers and sisters out there. We all family out here, man. Daniel Mitchell says, Haskins reads defenses and is smarter with the ball. I like him over Keenum at this point. Oh, could have been an interception. All right, so I think the Redskins are about to force a punt. That it's going to bring up a 3rd and long as we don't do anything stupid here. I think we're going to force a punt, and we're going to see Dwayne one more time. At least one more time. Derek Lamb says, I live in Tennessee. How can I watch the games? You're probably going to have to catch the playback on. First of all, you got to catch the playback on NFL Network. If you don't have NFL Network, this game will probably be on YouTube in a day or two. Just look it up on YouTube. You'll get the highlights on NFL on the NFL YouTube channel, but the whole game, people post the whole game on YouTube. Like, give dudes a day or two. This whole entire game will be on YouTube. You won't be able to watch it. Obviously, you weren't able to watch it live, but you know, preseason games, you don't have to watch them live necessarily to be able to see what happened. You can go back and watch this thing tomorrow or the day after. Casanova McKenzie with more pressure, flushing Danny Etlin out of the pocket. I said the Redskins were about to get off the field as long as they didn't have a penalty, and lo and behold, had a damn penalty. Ouija HTTR says, Clinton Portis on the sidelines is cringy. He's trying, though. Yeah, man. I always mute it when they put Clinton on. And I like Clinton, man. You know, I like when Clinton is doing, like, podcasts and radio spots and stuff. But on the sideline, he be trying too hard to engage with the players. And yeah, I just mute it. I just mute it. I'm good. I usually pass on that. But you're right. It is cringeworthy. So 3rd and 3. I would like a stop here to get Haskins another opportunity. So this is probably a run because the Falcons want to get the hell out of Dodge. It is a run. All right, we stopped him. Force a punt. Get Dwayne back to rock, man. And most likely, Jay's probably going to throw in the towel as well, and you're going to see a bunch of runs. But I wouldn't mind seeing a couple passes in here. So with about 4 minutes left, Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins offense are going to get it back one more time. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if Jay at this point is like, let's just get the hell out of here, man. We're relatively healthy. Okay, Falcons said F it. They're going for it on 4th and 2 from midfield. So never mind. Let's see if the defense can get a stop. They ran it, and the defense wasn't able to get the stop. So now I feel confident that we won't see the Redskins get the football back because we're not calling timeouts to get the ball back, nor should we. And you're going to see a lot of this clock get bled now at this point with the Falcons, and they're going to keep running it. There's going to be a lot of running plays with Danny Etlin in the run game with the Falcons. So yeah, he's throwing it here. So the clock is still rolling. So let's put a bow on this thing. Raul Reddy says, did you like how the first string defense played in the first half? I did. I really did. Sweat got pressure on Matt Ryan on one particular play, which was really exciting to see. That was impressive. Landon Collins almost had an interception. Deron Payne has been a man amongst boys in this preseason. He was outstanding. We were flying around defensively, which has been the theme of this preseason from the defense. They look fast. Again, no Julio Jones, so take that into consideration. Julio Jones plays, it changes the way you defend the Atlanta Falcons. No Julio Jones made it a lot easier on our defense. So we weren't complaining about having no Julio Jones to defend, but at the end of the day, I was definitely impressed with the defense. I feel good about week 1 versus Philadelphia with the defense that we have and we're going to put on the field. Feel really good about that. The offense leaves a lot to be desired, but I've never been, nor am I afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles in week 1. I've never been, nor am I afraid of the Dallas Cowboys in week 2 at home. So, you know, for all of the talk of us not being good this year, and I've been one of the people leading the charge and saying that I don't think we're going to be very good. You know how I am. I talk all this shit about us not being good, but, you know, come Sunday, I'm going to be sitting my ass right in front of the television, rooting like hell for the Redskins to come out victorious. And I think we can win every game, even if I know deep down inside we're going to lose and we're probably going to get blown out in certain instances. I'm going to sit in front of my TV and you can't tell me otherwise that we don't have a chance to win. And so you can't convince me that we can't go into Philly to the Link and come out with a dub. I've never been intimidated by the Link. I've never looked at Philadelphia as a big home field advantage field. I don't think any team in the division has a distinct advantage at home. None of the teams in the division are dominant at home. There isn't a Kansas City Chiefs, New Orleans Saints, Green Bay Packer type feel, you know, Seattle Seahawks type feel to any environment in the division. No team is safe at home. Dallas has had their struggles at home. We know we struggle at home. Teams come in routinely and take over FedEx Field. The Giants are the Giants, so nobody's afraid to go in there. And then the Eagles, they might have the best situation at home, but again, nobody's afraid to go into Philly and win. So I think we got a legitimate shot because we've seen the last of the starters for the preseason. You're not going to see anybody of note play next week. You know how week 4 of the preseason goes. Really what we'll be talking about next preseason game is the roster. You know, all we'll really be talking about is who's going to make the 53-man roster. I'll start to bang out a 53-man roster this coming week. And, you know, the toughest position for me is going to be wide receiver. That's probably where most of the competition is. You look around at all the other positions, I think we pretty much know who's going to make this football team. There's a question about the offensive line. Probably going to keep 8, possibly 9 offensive linemen. I think it's going to be 8. If you're keeping 8, you got your 5 starters and then you got your 3 backups. And what you're going to want are guys that provide you with depth at multiple positions. So the guys with versatility, the guys that can play 2 and 3 positions on the offensive line. The guy that Jerron Christian obviously going to be one of your backup linemen because he's a swing tackle. But it's a good play by Jeremy Reeves. Someone was asking about Jeremy Reeves earlier and thinking, can we sneak him onto the practice squad? Well, no, that was Harris. That's the guy that I liked out of North Dakota State, Deion Harris. He didn't look back for the ball, but he did a good job of not making contact with the receiver while face guarding. Remember, face guarding is not illegal. It's illegal once you start running in and making contact with the receiver. So that was 4th down. Haskins back on the field, but I expect all runs to Craig Robinson to wrap this thing up and get out of here. So first run to Craig Robinson. Gotta stop calling this man Craig Robinson. Craig Reynolds. So there is, guys, 12 carries, 48 yards, 4 yards per pop. Obviously, probably the most encouraging thing we saw all night was Darius Geis and his ability to carry the rock tonight. Made some good cuts, showed the power that we know he possesses, had a nasty stiff arm on his second run of the game, showed a little bit of the speed, showed some quick feet, the ability to stop change directions, and it reaccelerate. Had a play where he stopped in a hole on a gun run. Was nothing there, and I talked about how if that was P. Ryan, it would have been a gain of 1 or none. And he stopped his feet, then used a blocker to then create a little bit of a crease, and then reaccelerated and picked up a gain of 4 on first down run. Again, you can't begin to understand how important it is to be able to take a simple run that should get you none or 1 on first down and put you in 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, which is a down and distance you don't want to be in, and turn that into 2nd and 6, which is ideal in this league. I mean, that's a big run, and I call it one of those dirty runs that people don't talk about. They're not heavily publicized, but that's what the good backs do. They get the dirty yards, those dirty runs that net you 4 yards on first down instead of 1 yard or no yards on first down. Changes the way you call plays and run your offense. And so really impressed with Darius Geis today, man. Really was. McAllister Nicholas says, missed the first half. Who stood out in your opinion? Who shit the bed? Pretty much talked about that. Payne stuck out. Geis stuck out. And I'll have a video tomorrow, or you can just watch this one back to catch up on what happened. Keith Payne says, tight end Jordan Reed made an early exit from Thursday night's preseason game against Atlanta Falcons to be evaluated for a concussion. The team announced on Bleacher Report. Yeah, they talked about it during the game. He left. He took a nasty hit in the first half. Keanu Neal helmet to helmet. Right. I thought that Jordan Reed was going to be slow to get up on the play because his helmet went flying and he got up. He spun the ball, but there's no way that there wasn't a concussion on that play. That was straight. Keanu Neal will be fined, and if he's been a habitual offender, he might get suspended for a game. I don't want to see that happen, but the league has been really cracking down on that. So Gary B says, future looking bright for the Skins. If Jake opens up the playbook, takes some risks, stop being so predictable, we'll start winning games. We'll see what happens. Roaring Flame says, from what you have seen, how do you feel about Eric Flowers? Tell you what, Eric Flowers, and this will be it for us. The game's over. Redskins win 19-7 to get their first win of the preseason. Eric Flowers is a work in progress. He'll never be what he was supposed to be as a first-round pick. He'll never be that guy. He does not have the lateral quickness that is necessary to be an elite offensive lineman. He doesn't have the ability to stay low in his stance. He a lot of times comes straight up, pops straight up as a big guy. And you see that a lot of times with big guys. When they pop straight up, he's a massive human being. He's a big dude. And so it's hard for him to stay low. So a lot of times guys are going to have the leverage advantage against him. And if he's not able to use his length to keep them at bay, they can get up under his pads and drive him back a bit. But where he's really going to struggle is quickness. Guys that have quickness off the snap, that time up the snap. As we saw down by the goal line, when Crawford timed up the snap, he's not fast enough to be able to rebound and combat that kind of quickness off the snap. He just doesn't have the ability to overcome a false step or a guy beating him off the snap. And so that's something you're going to have to live with if you're going to start Eric Flowers. But I actually have been somewhat pleasantly surprised with the development because remember, this is his first time ever playing guard. I know a lot of you are killing him. And again, rightfully so, because at this point, if you're going to start, we demand perfection. That's not going to happen on any NFL field with any player. Doesn't matter how good you are, but that's what we demand as fans, and you're just not going to get it from Eric Flowers. You're not. It's just not going to happen. And so at the end of the day, I think what you're going to see from Eric Flowers is a guy that's going to fight his ass off. He's going to battle. But at times, when you put elite players in front of him, like, I shudder to think what's going to happen if Fletcher Cox lines up across from him in week 1. Like, that's total domination. That's disadvantage and advantage Eagles. And, if he doesn't get his act together in certain instances, and if there are more penalties to come, it won't be long before we see Wes Martin. So there's that. But in any event, I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Watch the Redskins. I will come at you guys tomorrow with my 5 biggest takeaways from tonight's 19-7 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. In addition, we'll start talking about some more of these positions. And I'll be releasing my fantasy football information if you guys are interested. Gonna have 2 fantasy football leagues. Depending on the demand, I may extend it out to a 3rd. We'll see. But I'll be posting that video tomorrow. Winners and losers. I'll be posting a video for that as well coming up soon. So you guys can get your affairs in order. All of my games and all of the things that I'm doing on the side this year will be paid. So if you're looking to get involved, it's going to cost. All right. I want money on the line. All right. I want guys to be invested. When you do things that are free, people like to check out on you. When you invest money, you're more likely to be engaged. So me being a competitor, I like to have something on the line. And so these will be paid. These will be paid ventures. So look out for Fantasy Football League. Look out for winners and losers. Those are coming down the pipeline very shortly as well. But I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. I thank you guys for joining me for the 2nd week in a row. This has been awesome on the stream. A lot of dialogue back and forth, and a lot of you watching this thing live with me as we watch the Redskins in the preseason. We'll do this again next week. It won't be as enjoyable because there'll be a lot of backups in the game. Maybe we'll see Haskins for much of the game next week, which should be some fun. That'll make the game really enjoyable. If we don't see a lot of Haskins, it'll be really disappointing because we won't really have a lot to watch the game for if he's not in. But in any event, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Thanks again for joining me.
Louie T Network.